like Blue River Road is where I live. Are you digging in the road, off the side? How is that going to impact us homeowners right during that time period?
So most of these are digging in the road. Most of them are digging in the road. We'll be taking a lane at some point. We'll be digging a trench in the middle of the road. Almost every street except for along the highway. That will be digging on the shoulder. So impacts, pretty much we're gonna be flagging most roads, especially Blue River Drive. On some of the side streets, Rose Street, Echo, Dexter, we may shut those streets down while we're digging through it. You know, people can, if you live there, you can go through it, but it just not everybody passing through. So those are kind of some of the plans, but every street will be dug through, going through. So, yeah.
What's the material that the pipes are going to be updated to?
Most of it is going to be C900 PVC plastic with some ductile iron fittings, and then we have ductile iron for the hydrants. And then for your water meters and how we're connecting to the house is all going to be PEX or HDPE. We're going to do a bunch of bores. So we need a bore across Blue River itself to make sure we've got adequate supply going into the downtown area. So we'll have a bore, a 10-inch water line, and that'll be HDPE, which is a fused pipe. And then there's a couple other spots we bore across different roads that'll be fused as well.
Will there be any changes to the PSI?
I would think it'd be better, but
There will be some of the properties that are high up above Blue River Drive will be putting in a larger service line, and so there will be less pressure loss in that service line. The overall kind of static pressure is based on the elevation of the reservoirs, so that's not going to change. But those properties up there will be putting in a larger line, so it won't drop off as much.
And during fire flow with the existing system, whenever you open a hydrant on one end of town, it can drop the PSI considerably on the other end to the point where the district would have to do a boil notice just because the system isn't adequately looped. This project will fix that issue.
I'm going to ask Robin's question a different way. Will we be able to use impact sprinklers? You know, like the irrigation that you need water pressure and it goes boom, 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 boom to move it around.
We need 60 PSI.
Right now we
60 PSI.
can't. Yeah.
You will be able to use it if you're basically right. There's going to be a couple properties that won't be able to.
Okay.
I mean, above Blue River Drive, it's probably not going to be 60 PSI. I mean, we're not changing the reservoirs.
Yes, yeah, we won't sell it us.
Yeah,
Now,
because the system's charged much by gravity, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
So if you wanted higher PSI where your house is getting 30, you would have to have a private booster pump. Which I think quite a few properties up there have one already.
same as you would put in a well.
Yeah.
But just so that you guys know, for hydrant wise, for us, we do have, with this new system, it's going to be really great for the fire department and how much flow we can get if we do need water. And where we've got a map up here of where all the hydrants are. Please take a look at that. I know I've had a lot of questions over where hydrants getting removed from my yard, where's it going. So I had to print a map today of where every hydrant is, because it is when you put 47 on a map.
So back to the pressure.
Yeah.
So our system still will be mostly gravity. So when the power goes out, we'll still have water.
Yes. Yep.
So that's a big plus.
Yes.
And you have a new well site with a generator, if I remember right? So even during an outage, there's a backup power at the wells. So if the tanks start emptying, that generator can kick on and still supply the wells.
Right, but the water is being gravity.
Yeah.
But when you're wearing out of water, you have
Right,
to
right,
fill
right, you have to refill it with the dinner.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So that system's gonna stay the same.
Yes. Correct.
Is there a plan for like the properties on the downtown that half are commercially zoned and the back half are residential? Is there a plan to add a new meter to the commercial properties?
We have added meters to some of those properties as people have come here in our previous meetings and said, I want another meter. We've gone ahead and shown one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's possible.
From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, the district standard for a commercial meter is 1 inch, and residential is 3/4. So there's some properties in downtown I know we've identified where there's a 1 inch meter and a 3/4 inch meter to have serve both of those uses. And like I said, it's the point of this meeting. If there's more, let us know.
Yeah, Clinton, so if they have specific issues about their property, they should come up and ask you now, because we have some flexibility, right?
Yeah, we have flexibility on, especially adding meters. This is the time to do it. We'll be in the downtown area in January, February. So, there's time to bring this up well ahead of schedule, get the parts ordered.
I do have the plans here tonight, so if you want to look at each of their specific property, we can look at that. If anybody, hey, what's happening at my place, we can look at it real quick and show you. So.
And Joel, as you're doing areas, are you replacing meters as you're going?
Correct. Yes. The goal basically right now is that we'll build an entire area, have the meters stubbed out, we got to pressure test it, we got to chlorinate it, we got to make sure that there's no bacteria in the line before we switch you over. So we'll do a whole area, get it pressure tested, we'll wait for the bacteria results to come back. As soon as those are good, we call the plumber in, we dig the temporary trench for now to where your old location was, and we'll switch you over. So the hope is to do 5 houses in a day, and then do the next 5 the next day, kind of like that.
Any advice on opening up faucets or something to drain possible contaminants out of your line, out of our line? Is there anything that you would think of, like maybe taking the filter off or whatever?
Usually not. Usually when we're doing the connections between, we're not. It's basically a one snip, and we're tying right in almost instantaneously, and then try to make it very clean, because we need to make sure there's no bacteria.
There'll be dirt in the line. I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah, so when they make the connection, we would recommend that you run a faucet for 10 minutes, kind of flush that, because there's going to be air in there too. It's going to burp a little bit, but it should be pretty quick and pretty clean.
Is the funding secure for all of this?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that all in state?
Plus, we have a little extra in case we run into some issues. So, absolutely.
It's federal money, to answer your question. Sorry.
I'm curious about backflow preventers. Are they going to be on the water district side or the homeowner side?
That would be homeowner side.
Homeowner side,
Homeowner
okay.
side.
Yeah, I just, and then, but so I'm sitting here thinking, you're replacing the meters, and so if somebody currently doesn't have backflow device, after the meter goes in, they will still not have a backflow device? Okay.
So should we encourage people to get backflow devices?
I mean, definitely, this is a system that doesn't have to be chlorinated, because you have really high quality groundwater. But that does put you at higher risk because of the lack of backflow, especially if you're connected to irrigation systems. I don't know if there's sprinklers in the gymnasium, but there's sprinklers in the school, so those systems are required to have backflow. I don't have it all off the top of my head, but there's a few uses that you're required to have backflow prevention on your line. And I know that there are properties that do have backflow, and those will be retained. But it's not the plan to add backflow to private property. We're trying to minimize our impact on private property as much as possible. Know that there's some of it, of course, but yeah.
But we could encourage people to, do you have some that you recommend? Or like, because we could encourage landowners, do you, yes?
Yeah, I mean.
Because I'm just thinking that's something we could just, you know, like,
Yeah.
while everything's dug up, you might want to consider purchasing.
Yeah, getting it back to the price. Yeah. And we can, we're gonna be using a couple local plumbers, so more than just one, so they can discuss with you if that's something you guys want to do.
Well, we can market it to the community that this is to help us, because we don't have to chlorinate our water.
Yep.
And we hope we can keep doing that. If we ever do have to chlorinate our water, I happen to find out there's nobody ever in the United States that once they start treating their waters, they able to not treat the water. So I mean, we could, you know, encourage everybody, because if something gets contaminated with some irrigation or, you know, animal waste or whatever, we have to treat our water from right?
Yeah, that's a great point. Because it would be considered a private improvement, I don't think we can necessarily put it as part of the project.
But we could
this is a great opportunity
we could encourage
to
each,
get the word out about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be,
We could
or
discuss
behoove
it.
us to encourage everybody.
Yeah, we can discuss it.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be up to each property.
Joel. I just wanted to clarify with regard to the work that's happening on the private property. I just wanted to let you guys know, we talked about private plumbers or actual licensed plumbers coming in and doing that work. But just for your information, Wayne County, the building department will actually issue permits for each of those. So you may see them putting up little pink placards on your house, and so their actual building inspector has to come out and sign off on those before it's actually connected up to your house. So I just want to let you know that's kind of a third-party review of the work that's taking place as on the part of the system that you guys own. So because after, you know, normally you're splitting the meter from the water district to what you own. So just be aware of that you will see the county inspectors out for that piece.
And we'll be putting the permits in for that. So we're responsible for it. We'll call for the inspections, all those kind of things.
So one thing I don't know on those permits that Steve was talking about, the county, each one has to be an individual permit, and the county may require that the homeowner, signs the permit or is a party to that permit. The contractor is going to be doing the work and is responsible for getting the permit. But since it's on private property, homeowner may need to sign that permit or somehow be a party to that.
So the idea is to give, what's going to go into the permit with enough notice that you can review it, make sure it's something you agree with, and then get the work scheduled.
Fees and everything with the county and that low side permit, that'll be covered by the project?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Let's come up and look at the maps.